This message is for all women. I can't stress enough how important it is to do your breast self-exams and to not just rely on your yearly mammograms. It could be a matter of life or death. I had lumps removed from both breasts in the early 1990s. Both were benign, but it made me very apprehensive and nervous each time I had a mammogram, always expecting there to be something again. After a few years of clear mammograms, I became somewhat complacent and figured if my mammograms came back clear, I was good for another year. This is my story. Last year completely changed my thinking. I had a mammogram the end of July 2013, and it was clear. Again, I figured I was good for another year. The end of September, something just nagged at me to do a self-exam. I wasn't very good at it, only did it periodically or when I would think about it, but I found a lump. It was in the upper part of my right breast. It wasn't there before, and obviously it did not show up on the mammogram. I do freelance work online, had a huge project. We were getting ready to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary and my husband Bob's 70th birthday, and I just didn't feel like I could handle anything else at the time, so I waited to call my doctor. After our party, which was November 4th, I called my doctor, and she got me in that afternoon. She figured it was just a fatty tumor and benign, but she set me up to see the breast specialist just to be sure. He also felt that it was a fatty tumor and benign, but scheduled me for a diagnostic mammogram and an ultrasound with a biopsy just to be sure. I had those done the following day, and the radiologist did a biopsy. I found out the following Monday, which was November 11th, that it was cancer. I saw the breast specialist again the next day, and he told me that it was 14 millimeters, stage 2, grade 3, but it was invasive ductal cancer. He thought that I would be able to have just a lumpectomy and radiation, but he wanted me to have an MRI just to be sure that everything was showing. I got in for an MRI the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Because of it being Thanksgiving, I didn't get the results until the following Monday. I got a call from the doctor telling me to come right into the office because it was more complicated than he could explain over the phone. It was actually 2.5 centimeters, and it was also in another spot. So at this point in time, a lumpectomy was out of the question, and I was going to need a mastectomy. I opted to have plastic surgery, so they set up an appointment with me for me to see a plastic surgeon. My surgery was scheduled for December 12th, and I went in expecting to come out with a reconstructed breast and just have to have radiation. The first thing they do is inject a dye in your breast that goes to the lymph nodes, and they take out the sentinel node. In my case, the sentinel node was already black and hard, so it was already cancer. At that point in time, they knew I would not be able to have reconstruction. They ended up taking out 20 lymph nodes in all, 9 of which were cancer. So instead of having a lumpectomy like I originally thought, I ended up having a radical mastectomy. I was also now going to need chemotherapy and radiation. It has been a struggle and a long journey for me, but at this point in time I am cancer-free and thankful to be alive. If I had not done a self-exam, I would not be here to tell my story. I had literally saved my own life just by doing a self-exam. Please be proactive. Do your self-exams. It could be a matter of life and death. If this message can save even one woman from going through what I went through, it will be worth it. Thank you, and God bless.